Hey everybody, this is Nick from O3 Drop. Thanks for tuning in today. So today I wanted to go over a deck list that I just won an ARG Easter Event with. Now, you might have guessed it by now, but the leader for this is going to be Son Goku, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the new set. This is a really awesome leader. I think some people thought he was going to be bad just because you can cap out at 6 energies, or you have to cap out at 6 energies, but honestly this is probably one of the best new leaders, if not the best. So with this deck, basically our whole goal is to get out this big 5-drop right here, which we'll talk about in a moment, and then combo everything in the deck. So the entire thing is we just get him out, we get out some of the other monkeys, and we just combo a bunch of Saiyans. That's literally the entire deck. So starting out with this leader, you basically skip your first charge phase, discard 1 card from your hand, and then flip 2 life over to be your energies. Now, with some decks, this could really screw you over, because if you get 2 bad colors, then you're off to a really bad start. With this deck, we only played, 8 cards that weren't the 2 colors we needed. So every now and then you get kind of screwed over, but luckily for me today, I never got 2 bad colors. Like I got 1 color plus blue or 1 color plus yellow, or just blue-yellow every single time. So I did get a little bit lucky there. So let's go ahead and flip to his awakened side. So once you awaken with this leader, you can literally tap out, and at the end of your turn, you get to untap any 3 energies you want. Now, with Starter Ku, when you swing with him, you only get to untap blue, and that's one thing that really sucks about Starter Ku. However, with this leader, you can untap any 3 color or any colors you want, any 3 energies. So that's going to play a big part in the way this deck works. So starting out, we have Planet Vegeta. Obviously, this is your best turn 1 play. If you can turn 1 for this. If you have the 3-drop in your hand, then you can turn 1 for one of these Gokus, which is going to help you awaken, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But to be honest, this is really a Swiss Army knife. Like, whatever you feel like you need, like, for example, let's say you're playing against Veggies, and you have, this or this already. You can even use it to get this. And so now, when they put out that Cobra, they put out that Khalifa, you can pop it. Like, it's just really good. You can get whatever you need. Again, best turn 1 play. This also leaves you 1 energy open, so you can combo to defend yourself if you need to, which most of the time you don't on your first turn. So, moving on from that, we have March of the Great Ape. Honestly, I think this is one of the most busted cards from this set, because not only do you get to lay down 2 4-drop monkeys, but you also draw 2 cards to replace them. That's just really, really stupid. Now, a lot of people, they saw this and they thought, oh great, Mecha Frieza, you can take a life and play this for 2. In this deck, you're basically playing it for 1, and you don't have to take a life to do it, because you pay the 4, you play down 2 monkeys or 1 monkey, or I actually did it once today for no monkeys just to draw, and at the end of your turn, you untap 3. So it's literally like you're paying 1 energy for it, and you don't have to ping yourself. It's so stupid in this deck. It was a lot of fun today. Now, moving on to the Goku. So this is a Goku from the new set. Basically, whenever you combo with this on your turn, you can choose to take a life if you want. Now, if your leader is yellow, it also comes onto the field in rest mode. However, obviously, we're playing a blue leader here, so that doesn't happen. Now, the thing about this is a lot of times your opponent on their first or second turn will swing at you and put you down at 5 life, because, I mean, that's where they want you, so they can double strike you to 3 and so on. So if you have this in your hand starting out, which I did a good part of the day, like I either had this in my hand or I Planet Vegeta for it pretty early. But having this early, I awakened on my second or third turn almost every single match today, because I just had this in my hand and just comboed with it and awoken. And the cool thing about it is, again, if you know you're going to use it to awaken, you can tap out that turn, use this as you're tapping out, pay the 1 for it, tap out, awaken, pass turn, you get your energies back. It's beautiful. This is also good because late game you can just choose not to take a life, but you can still combo with it. So, it's really good even if you're already awakened. Now, this Gohan is something that people have been using since it came out with set 2. Obviously, it's really good. Combo with it from your hand and put it on the field afterwards. What makes it even dumber in this deck is because it's a Saiyan. So once you get the 5-drop King Vegeta out, this becomes a free 10k combo that you put on the field. Like, it's so stupid. Now, this is also one of the cards I think was an MVP against Mecha Frieza today, because a lot of times during their turn, I would use this to combo defensively, and then on their turn, or on my turn, I'd use it to swing. Now, that puts them in an awkward spot, because if they block it, they're wasting one of their blockers for that turn. And I mean, they don't want to Shugesh Gohan or Goku it, because I mean, it's a 15k beater. Like, that's all it is. That's such a waste. And so it just puts them in really awkward spots a lot of times. And even if they let it go through and I don't combo with it, they still have to at least drop one card out of their hand to be able to protect it. So this was a really good card for me today. And again, when you get to play it for free, it's just stupid. Now, with the King Vegeta, with it being a 3 cost, in this deck, we don't play Shugesh. We don't get that opportunity, unfortunately. So we have to literally pay the 3 for this, go get the ape, and then evolve it hopefully next turn if it's still alive. Obviously, it's not as flashy as Shugesh into it and then evolving the same turn. But the thing is, because you can tap out in this deck and keep your energies, even if you play him, go get this, and then they pop him before you can evolve it, you can just play something else on your, energy 4 turn, and then tap out on 5 for this. Because again, you're awakened, so you tap out to play this, and then as soon as this is active, like, this is the key for the deck. As soon as you get this active, everything in the deck just flows so well. It's got barrier, so it's almost impossible to kill. There's literally 2 cards in the entire game right now that can kill it. With the exception of Revenge, obviously. So yeah, once you get this out, the game becomes so much easier for you. Now, one thing I will mention is we're only running 3 of each. A lot of lists will run 4 of each, but we're only doing 3 of each, and the reason is because Planet Vegeta searches this out, and then this searches this. So we felt just with the searches, and the fact that you literally only need 1 of these apes usually, we just didn't think you needed more than 1, or more than 3. So, moving on to the other apes, we have the Vegeta and the Bartok promos. Honestly, these are a must for the deck. Just having the double strike on this promo makes it so stupid, because if they're at 4 life, you can just swing with this and make them discard cards. Like, it's so unfair. So, and then obviously with critical, that's definitely a +2. But the other thing is you can combo with this, because in one of my matches, I actually, they comboed up to, I think it was like 35 or 30k per game. And so I did one 10k combo with this to put me at 25. And what I did, I had to, I did the ability, and I really needed a Great Ape to combo with, or else I was going to lose. Well, I did the ability, got a Great Ape, used that to combo with. I had an extra Planet Vegeta in my hand, so I just discarded that. And that literally saved me the game, because when you combo with this, or when you play it, you can look at the top 3, grab an ape. If you do, discard 1 card from your hand. So the fact that you can do that off the combo as well as playing it just makes it so stupid. It's just such a good card. Now, one of the spicier things in this deck, and this is something that caught a lot of people off guard. So King Cold, Father of the Emperor. This is a card that I don't think I've really seen anyone play since it came out in set 1. But this was probably the perfect deck for it. So the downside to it is that it takes 3 yellows, which most decks don't really want to play. However, this deck can get away with it because, if you have 1 or 2 energies open at the end of your turn anyway, and then you untap 3 more, like, you have plenty of energies. And you're going to charge at least 3, if not 4 yellows. As a matter of fact, I charged 5 yellows in one match today. So, for those of you who don't know, basically what this card is when your opponent attacks, it counts as a negate. It's got the counter attack, and it redirects the attack to this card. So on top of that, though, it has Revenge. So it redirects it, it has Revenge, and also the auto on it is when you play it, you get to tap down one of your opponent's battle cards. So there's no cost. So, it's not a battle card that costs 5 or less or anything. Like, literally just anything that doesn't have barrier, you can tap it down. So, if you're playing against a deck that runs Kale, you can tap Kale down. You can tap Khalifa down. You can tap basically anything down. So this was a really good card for me today. It definitely surprised a lot of people, and no one really saw it coming. So yeah, this was definitely one of the secret MVPs. I will say though, you can actually combo to save this, because there was once earlier where one of my teammates, I was watching him, we were playing the same exact list. Someone attacked him with the Vegeta promo, and they didn't combo. And so because all the Saiyans in this list are 10k freeze, he threw a 10k on it, and this card has double strike, so it is a 15k double striker. So like you can save it, still KO their their monster or their battle card, and then have a 15k double striker on your next turn. So it's really good in this list. Definitely a spicy tech. I'm not going to spend too much time on Senzu Bean, Whis, and Piccolo. I think you guys all know how that works by now. So the Gotens, we put this in here because we thought we were going to see a lot of veggie lists. I saw, I think, one or two the entire day. This is really good in those matchups because you can pop their Khalifas, you can pop their Kabbas and stuff like that. There was actually one turn where my opponent had 2 Kabbas and 2 Khalifas. The Khalifas were in rest mode because he attacked with them. I attacked one of the Khalifas with my leader and comboed with both of these for free to pop 2 of the other ones, and then killed that one with the battle. And so like right there, just I was able to get rid of 3 out of 4 of them, and it was just beautiful. To be honest, in the future, I'd probably side deck these 2 for something else. Probably the Prince of Speed, which we'll talk about here in a moment. But these were definitely good cards throughout the day. So moving on to this, the Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku. This comes in the starter deck, and I believe you get 4 for every starter deck you buy. If you haven't bought the new red starter deck yet, you need to go do it, because this card is just unbelievable. In this deck, it's literally a super combo. Once you get your 5-drop out, he's a Saiyan, he costs 1 less, you combo with him, 10k, draw a card. So we literally have 8 super combos in this deck. This is just it's super unfair, because like with this card in your deck, you don't care if you charge a Piccolo turn 1. Like if you discard your card and flip over your life and one's a Piccolo, you're just like, whatever, I couldn't use that yet anyway. Whereas this, you can search this with Planet Vegeta. You can use it from turn 1. It's so good. So finally in the main board, we have Scientist Fu. This is one of the promos. If you don't have any of these yet, you might want to get these. These are really good. So basically, Overwhelm 7, tap 1 energy, you get a 25k double striker, and you draw 2 cards. So in this deck, there would be a lot of times where basically I'm at 1 or 2 energies and all my monkeys have swung and my opponent thinks they're safe, and then overwhelm him in, swing for game. Like it was just, yeah. Some people can see it coming, but others don't, and it's just beautiful when it works for you. Now, this over here is the sideboard. So we do have Crusher Balls in our sideboard. That was mainly for the Masked Saiyan matchup, because basically everything they play, it's basically they're that turn and then gone afterwards because they just overwhelm it in. So the thought process there is, okay, we overwhelm it in, I Crusher Ball it, and then we move on to the next turn. I did play against a Masked Saiyan, and it worked exactly like that. It was pretty beautiful. We do have the 4th Whis in here as well, just because, I mean, Whis is still the best negate in the game, even better than Flying Nimbus, even though this is also a really good negate. The Flying Nimbus really came in handy when I played against basically another Apes matchup, just because they could only swing with 1 or 2 Apes, and that was it. It would also be really good against like Pan. I know one of my teammates actually used it against the Pan deck, and it basically won him the game there. So kind of any aggro deck that just spams, attackers, you can use this against, and it just stops them dead. Like there's just nothing they can do. I do have a 3rd Son Goten. This is probably something I take out of the side deck along with this King Cold right here. I literally did not side these in whatsoever throughout the entire day. What was in the deck was enough, and a lot of times this Goten came out for other stuff just based on the matchup, which leads us into the Prince of Speed Vegeta. So this card has really found a home in this deck. Like honestly, next time I play this deck, this will be in the main board, because what happens is it's blue, so if you charge it turn 1, it's not a big deal, it's what you want. It's a Saiyan, so it becomes a free 10k combo. And you can tap out on your turn with the 5th energy to play it, because you get 3 energies back. So you're basically it's kind of like the Go tanks, the green Go tanks that everyone played in set 2. It almost becomes like that, except it costs 2 energies in the long run, and you draw 2 cards from it. It's still a 20k double strike attacker, so you swing for double strike, put some pressure on your opponent. And I mean, if they kill it, big deal. Like, it did its job. You drew 2 cards, and you swung at their leader. And then finally, we have Yajirobe. This was mainly in here just for, something similar to the mirror matchup or Mecha Apes. Because if they, I just wanted to lay this down, and if they want to swing into it, they can swing into it. And otherwise, they just don't swing at me, and I get a free turn. So yeah, this was just something that I put in there for those. It was definitely used today, and it definitely killed a few monkeys, so that was definitely good for me. Overall, I really like this list. I was worried about the cell matchup, basically any androids running the cell chain. However, one of my teammates actually played against that, and they cell chained him twice in the same game, and he was still able to recover and win the game and the match. So that was my biggest concern going into the day, and he was able to win that. Luckily, I never saw the matchup. Honestly, I went 4-1-1 in Swiss, and my only loss and tie were to my 2 teammates who were playing the same exact deck. One of them, we literally had the same 50 cards or 65 cards. The other one, he had a couple cards different just because he didn't have further promos yet, and I think there was something else he had changed. Me and him actually ended up first and second, and then our other friend ended up top 8. So yeah, I mean, it was I think we had more than 30 people at the tournament, so it was a pretty decent showing. If you guys have any questions or anything, just leave a comment below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. And yeah, if there's anything I can be doing better, also let me know that. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night.